Obviously, the offense has shown signs in both games so far, but it still seems like there's just a little something missing. What's your take on it?
Yeah, I mean, you come out to practice, you clean up the things that you feel like you could have improved on throughout the game, or you could have done better. I think it's a work in progress, but I think that each game slowly we understand that it's there. We just got to make sure that we're consistent with the effort that we put in and consistent with the execution piece of it. Obviously, we shoot ourselves in the foot and it kind of sets us back, but I think that's something that is going to improve, and I believe that every guy out here wants to make that improve because we see the splashes that we can have if we do it right.
So obviously the 3 and outs they hurt and especially as you come into a game like Memphis, which is possession and eating up the clock, is going to be crucial to keep that offense off the field. How important? I mean, you're going to have possessions that end with a punt, but you would prefer to be a couple first downs.
Yeah.
And you get 10 plays before you have to punt. The 3 and outs are a killer.
Yeah, I think especially with our offense, we like to hold on to the ball as long as we can, give our defense a break, give our defense a rest, so they can get us the ball back and we can kind of keep on chugging away at the clock. I think that's something important that we always strive for. I think 2 years ago we had the ball for the whole first quarter almost, and that's something that would be great to be able to do each quarter, and so that's something that we're going to try to get after, but something that we need to do is just finish with points.
So you mentioned the word, and it's a term that Coach Chesnut, Coach Newberry have used, work in progress, but obviously we're now getting further into the season, and it can't be a work in progress. It has to be more of a finished product. I mean, you're playing a team here on Thursday night that has the capability of putting up a lot of points, and you probably need to answer in kind. Can you talk about, do you feel like it's ready to come together? Do you sense that?
Yeah, I mean, I think believing in each other is the first thing, and I think all of us do. I think all of us come out here every day ready to work for one another. I think the only people that really stop us is ourselves. I think we can't shoot ourselves in the foot, like I've said before, and if we go out there and execute and play with the lead effort that we know we can, we know what can happen. We can see what has happened in that moment, and so I think all of us just believing in each other, believing that we've put in all the effort and all the work that we have over the summer, spring, fall, whatever it may be, and just go out there and prove it to not only other people but to ourselves that we can make it happen, we can make it come together.
And we said, there's been some encouraging signs. Against Notre Dame, you moved the ball, and then this past game, there's some nice pass plays down the field, chunk yardage. Eli Heidenreich with an absolutely beautiful run. I mean, there's signs, and if you can just increase the positive plays and decrease the negatives. Is that kind of where we're at?
Yeah, I mean, I think with every offense, that's the point of the game is to not shoot yourself in the foot, not make plays that are negative plays for you. As long as you're getting first down, eventually the end zone comes up. So that's the whole point, is just keep moving the ball, get the chunk plays we can when we can, and like I said, minimize the mistakes on our part, and that's all up to us. That's all our execution part of it. So if each of us come out there and you would like to play a flawless game. Obviously, there's going to be ups and downs, but come out there with every play and intend to make it the best play you have, and I think that's how you put together a good game.
So it's been a short week, and you maybe not had as much practice time to work out the kinks and maybe, like you said, correct the mistakes. But do you feel you're in a good place as you get ready here for a Thursday night game in Memphis?
Yeah, I mean, I think the confidence, coming off a win, you would like to have put up more points, but I think just a win is a win, and especially at the college level, I think all of us are building confidence and trusting in each other that we can make plays if we do it the right way and do it how we've been coached to do it. So I think going into this game, it's a short week, but I think all of us are in a good headspace, ready to go, just attack it, and we have a great opportunity to go out, play a good defense, and be able to make a statement for our own. So,
Coach, against Wagner, how would you assess the offensive performance? Like a Notre Dame game, there were some very positive things, and then of course there were some negatives. What was your assessment of the Wagner offensive performance?
The same. There are some moments when we execute well, where you see positive plays and our ability to stay on schedule and even create explosive plays. We're just extremely inconsistent right now, and we have to do a better job as coaches of preparing and making sure the guys understand exactly how they need to do things. And we say all the time, how you do anything is how you do everything. So every rep is important. We just went through a walkthrough practice, and those walkthrough reps are just as important as a full pad practice.
Right.
And so our guys understand that. They've done a much better job, particularly over the last 2.5 weeks now, of embracing that. I think our maturity has grown substantially since the first ball game, and that's really encouraging, and that would lend itself to us getting better and fixing these lapses in execution sooner rather than later, which is obviously the goal.
Right. So, I mean, it must be frustrating. I mean, you're up in the booth, you have a script, you know how you want it, in your mind, you know how you want it to go. On first drive with Tai, it went exactly how you wanted. You know, with very, things went smoothly, the plays worked, and you're in the end zone.
Yep.
Then the next drive, 3 and out, another 3, and those are the ones that probably are killers because, I mean, like I just was saying to Tai, there are going to be possessions where you punt. That's the nature of the game, but you usually would like to get a couple first downs before you punt, especially with a Navy offense where controlling the clock, eating up minutes is crucial.
Absolutely, and that's the goal for us is to stay on schedule and get first downs, control the clock, and obviously most importantly score points. And to that point, we have to continue to grow in that area where we can function and bring our whole offense to the table. What can happen is when you get in those moments when you're working to do things and you're shooting yourself in the foot, you begin to get conservative to give your guys an opportunity to get their feet settled. Right? And go back to some territory that may be more familiar for them so that they can go execute more cleanly and then, again, stay on schedule, get first downs and control the clock. And, where we want to continue to grow our offense and bring everything to the table that we feel like we're capable of doing.
So one of the encouraging things was, you talk about adding passing elements, and you had that against Wagner. Some downfield passes. The wheel route to Anton Hall was just terrific. Some of the plays in the 1-minute drill, very nice. I mean, you showed the ability to connect passes, and that had to be encouraging.
It was extremely encouraging. Obviously one of the biggest highlights of the game was the 1-minute drill at the end of the first half. That was really, really well executed on our part. The guys did a great job, and so that obviously was extremely encouraging and shows what we're capable of doing when we execute consistently. And so I think the guys, our players, see that. I think that was momentum for us for sure as we move forward in the season. We have to stack those reps. We have to stack those drives and be able to, again, consistently do the things that we know we need to be successful. And to their credit, they're embracing it. They really are. It's important to them. And we'll get there. There's no question about that.
And the other issue is finishing. I mean, you got into the red zone. Not only do you settle for field goals when you want to score touchdowns, but then those field goals are not converted. I mean, every point counts. And you missed 6 points there.
No question. That's a point of emphasis. It always is going into every season, regardless if you're returning. You've been somewhere for years and years, and you're returning all seniors. You always emphasize red zone and situationals, third downs, and things like that. And those are areas that we have to get better at, and we're stressing it. We're focusing on that in practice. And the guys understand that, and again, to their credit, they're embracing it. So hopefully we'll be getting much better sooner rather than later in those areas.
So Tai, you've used the term, Tai used the term just now when I interviewed him, work in progress, but obviously you're getting, as you get further into the season, the work in progress doesn't,
there's no question.
Progress has to be made, right?
That's exactly right, and I'm incredibly impatient.
Right.
And so, it can't happen soon enough, right? And it has to happen now. And I think that sense of urgency and making sure that it's correctly communicated, not panicky, but the sense of urgency to get things in line and for us to be able to go play like we're capable of playing, like you see flashes of, and making that our consistent effort. I think that's the critical point of emphasis, obviously, on a day-in, day-out basis for our offensive unit right now. And we've got to make it happen. We got to make it happen. So,
like, Coach was saying on his media Monday, this is a game where the offense does need to possess the ball.
Yes.
14 to 15 play drives would be great. Absolutely. To keep Seth Hennigan in that offense off the field. And he said, maybe you're happy with 4 and 5 yard gains and moving it down incrementally. Is that kind of where you're at?
Absolutely. We need to do a great job of controlling the clock and staying on schedule and getting first downs. There's no question about that. So, that's the focus. That's our game plan focus, obviously, is to do that. And, I feel confident that we're going to go out and put a better product out there this week.
So you coached the offensive line along with Coach Ingram. Coach Newberry said he was very impressed with the improvement of the offensive line from game 1 to game 2. He made some changes there with 3 guys making their first year. Now, One of them was by necessity with Lirion being out, but Boughton and Cummings made their start. Or do you feel good about where the offensive line is and where they're going?
I feel good about where we're heading, absolutely. You know, we made, from an effort standpoint, we made as much improvement as I've seen in an offensive line unit from game 1 to game two, maybe in my entire career. So that was really, really encouraging, and that's a credit to those young men that they embraced that. You know, they played much harder, and with greater effort comes better execution.
Sure.
And that's what occurred as well. So we still have plenty of improving left to do on the offensive line. Those guys know that, and their attitude is great, and they're embracing that work. So that was also something that was very encouraging coming out of the Wagner game.